Hi everyone, it's the English Simmer here, and boy oh boy, do we have a chunky topic to talk about today. You might have missed it, but in the update yesterday, people started going through the text strings and the files of the update, and they actually found some information about the Sims 4 kits. And then the Sims team came out and said that it was all official, it was happening, and we were going to find more information about it on the 2nd of March, which I'm fairly sure is next Tuesday? However, there has been pictures of these things and I have a lot of thoughts about them. So let's go through what they are, the imagery that we've seen, and then I'm going to talk about how I personally feel about them. And I'm kind of scared, because even as an individual, I have a lot of conflicting feelings. So of course, I've come to the Sims community because Jovan just does it so well. Oh my god. I love this man so much. So I found some game descriptions and features of the upcoming 3 kits for The Sims 4 in the text strings. Here's what each will offer. We have the Sims 4 Throwback Fit Kit. Outfit your Sims in retro-inspired athleisure looks with the Sims 4 Throwback Fit Kit. Take it back to nostalgic colours, bold patterns, and trend-forward silhouettes. With these all-new Create-a-Sim items, updated everyday classics and workout wear elevate this unique collection and your Sims fashion. Sims 4 Country Kitchen Kit. Transform your Sims kitchen into the most charming part of their home. I love kitchens. I'm all for this one in particular. From vintage refrigerators to casserole dishes, these build by mode objects will offer a delightfully trendy take on a timeless style. And Bust the Dust Kit. Dust off the vacuum and tidy up the Sims 4. Bust the Dust Kit. Dust is piling up and spawning friendly bunnies and dastardly filth fiends in Sims homes. Get rid of the muck by cleaning, or settle in for a messy life. Conquer chores with new buffs and rewards for each dust level. Vacuums to help fight the good fight, and aspirations related to cleanliness. So it is indeed a new pack type. I've seen people discussing these online. I've seen people saying this better be free. With it being a new pack type, they absolutely are not gonna be free. I'm gonna throw that one out there. All we have to do is use our brains to know that these are definitely not gonna be free for The Sims 4. I've seen people talking about a price range being between $3 to $5, but nothing's been confirmed. I guess we can expect that on Tuesday. The team will come out and say how much these are when they're being released, all of that, but we don't know officially how much these are gonna cost. Also, the strings explain just a little bit more of what kits are. What is a kit? Kits are mini bits of content designed to enhance the way you play. Explore our kits. Each kit is a little bit different. Play around. To me, this genuinely feels like the Sims 3 store in a way, but I will talk about how I feel about it a little bit later. Let's have a look at what actually comes in these kits. So we have the Bust the Dust kit, which is the gameplay one, and honestly, from the cover, all I really see is hoovers and also dust bunnies. And honestly, this is the one I am least excited for, which sucks because I am very much a gameplay simmer. Playing the game is my favorite part of The Sims, always has been, probably always will be. And the fact that this is the gameplay one for the first one, I'm very meh on this whole pack idea. We have Throwback Fit Kit, which is very much 90s athleisure inspired. I do like some of the content, however, it does feel very fitness stuff to me personally, and also I'm not a massive fan of leisure stuff in The Sims 4. I do love this sunflower bucket hat though. Country Kitchen Kit, I'm all for this. It's very much my style of building. I absolutely love it. Kitchens are one of my favorite things when it comes to The Sims. Always have been. I love the cooker. I love the cupboards. I love the sink. I am a cottage core whore, so therefore this is right up my alley. Personal preference wise, Country Kitchen Kit absolutely does it for me. Alright, so the throwback fit. These are the screens that we currently have about this kit. Honestly, it feels very fitness stuff, like I said. Also has a hint of snowy escape. Obviously that was much more like snow wear than like athletic wear. However, some of the styles are very similar. City living, university, all of those things. I personally don't think this was a theme that needed to be done again, especially in like such a small dedicated pack. I feel like we've had this in expansions repeatedly. And I know like the 90s aesthetic is very in right now. However, I personally don't really like tracksuits. I think if they were going to do like a more vintage inspired theme, I would have preferred either like a 70s or 80s or even like 90s but more casual wear. That's mainly down to my personal preference. Like I would have loved like denims, quirky like overshirts, stuff like that, baggy trousers, like chains on the trousers. I am such a country cottagecore fan. The colour on this is what really won me over. Obviously, kitchens are such a sore spot for The Sims 4. We all know kitchens take a really long time and a lot of resources as well, because it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. You have to make sure all the elements work together, and that's why we don't get them very often in like bigger packs. I know someone brought up to me the fact that like, if we're getting country now, does that mean we're not going to get like a farming expansion or a country driven expansion or game pack? I can't see it negating that. If anything, a pack like this and them focusing on a kitchen in a smaller pack means that there's more scope for bigger packs to explore like different themes, different objects. I think it gives them more of a chance to play around with other objects that aren't taken up by the resources that are needed for a kitchen. But yeah, this style, I love the fridge. I love the like busted up like counters, like kind of the dirt rubbing off. The oven is absolutely gorgeous. Again, this is very much personal taste and personal preference, but this one is the one that I would buy hands down, because I would use this all the time in my game, and I know that I would. Plus the dust, this one hurts as a gameplay person. I mean, I didn't want laundry. You know, if you were in my community, if you were watching my videos around the time of the laundry day stuff vote, you will know how much I was against that. I don't really generally like chores in The Sims unless I'm playing like a very family-based series. But even then, like, laundry is really only made for me because of the other stuff that comes in that pack. Like, I personally don't use laundry all that often. I very rarely use it. However, the rest of Create a Sim and Build and Buy mode actually help lift that pack up to where I find it and get my enjoyment of it from, whereas this is literally just like the gameplay and the hoovers, and therefore I'm not a fan of it. Also, it was mentioned that there were aspirations for cleanliness, which just no, I have an issue with aspirations anyway in The Sims 4. I don't think there's enough variety. I think they're very easy. They basically tend to be a walkthrough of the pack, and if we're getting an aspiration for cleanliness, I absolutely feel like that's just going to be a walkthrough of this little gameplay. It's probably going to be like, become friends with a dust bunny. And that's another issue that I have with this pack. I personally don't really like how animals are done in The Sims 4. I don't think cats and dogs are the strongest pets we've ever had. My first pet stuff, I actually quite like a little bit of the gameplay that comes with the small animals. However, they're still not that great. And also familiars in Realm of Magic are just like basically useless. I love having them, but the fact that there's barely any gameplay with them other than a few interactions that don't really have an effect on anything, I can definitely see that being the case with dust bunnies. Also, the pack information did also mention that chores would be like a buff, but there actually isn't a chore system, which I think is lacking in Parenthood anyway. I feel like there should be a way to make your kid Sims like do stuff, like give them times to do their homework and give them rewards if they do it. I've always wanted a chore system in The Sims 4, and so having like kids be able to like hoover their rooms doesn't really add that much playability for me, because it actually doesn't have too much of an effect other than maybe getting a couple of bluffs. And I just feel like if this is tied in with Parenthood a little bit more, then I'll probably get more use out of it. If it's not, then it really is just like standalone gameplay that I'm not really too fussed about. It's kind of weird because I'm not a builder really, and yet the build by mode one is the one that really like jumps out to me as a Sims player. Like that's the one that like really hits my style, which is strange. And that's kind of how I feel about these packs in general. Yes, I do think there are positives to it. Yes, I do think there are negatives to it. Positive wise, I think it definitely offers more of a choice. It offers more variety. Like, for example, I really enjoy Create a Sim and gameplay. However, the gameplay and Create a Sim ones don't really jump out all that much because of the very specific themes. And I do feel like these are very specific themes so that you can pick and choose. I know when new packs come out, I see the discussion on Twitter, I see the discussion online. I know the consumer in us all wants every single pack. We want our lists to be completed. I know that. However, I do think from like EA's perspective, this is a pick and mix. Like you can really pick and choose. The Sims 3 store was exactly the same. And I do think this follows a general theme of The Sims 4. I think The Sims 4 packs in general are very pick and mix. Like I feel as if even expansion packs, yeah, they cover like a few things. However, they're a lot smaller than past iteration expansion packs, and they definitely have more of a, if this looks like something you'll enjoy, you'll probably enjoy it. If it doesn't look like something you'll enjoy, then it's probably not worth picking it up. I hate telling people where to spend their money. People come into my streams and they're like, is this pack worth it? Out of these packs, which is the best one to buy? And I can never give a definitive answer on that, because to me it always comes down to your playstyle, what you enjoy, like the themes that you enjoy. All of those things are so like personal, and I think that's how packs always have been. So this definitely follows on with the theme in general when it comes to The Sims 4. I also like how they have split them up between Create a Sim, Build and Buy, and also gameplay, because not everyone wants to spend like $10 on a stuff pack when they only want like a couple of items from build and buy mode. Also, it does offer more variety, especially for those players, and I don't think we can have blinkers on when we talk about these things, because keep in mind Sims 4 is massive on console, and console players can't download custom content. Also, not everyone can afford, or their specs might not be able to run all of the big packs. So therefore, when you think about it, if you break it down into smaller packs, people might be able to afford them more. If they just want to bulk out their game like a little bit, it's definitely better for those people. And finally, when it comes to positives, I actually feel like this might give the team the option to play around a little bit more. Sometimes I feel like they play it very safe, and I will say these styles that have been announced for these 3 themes, I feel like they are still kind of playing it safe. Like we know that chores and realism is really wanted in The Sims 4. We saw that from laundry day stuff and knitting. A throwback theme, vintage wear, is very popular right now. Like that's kind of a safe bet. And also country kitchen, like yeah, I'm fairly sure the Country Kitchen on the Sims 3 store was probably one of the best-selling Sims 3 sets that they ever had, so they are playing it quite safe with these initial releases. However, I feel like they could push the boat out on these packs because they're not that big and they are very individual. So if it means that the team are having more fun with it, I'm all for it. We saw it with Peacemaker's mirror in the update that we got yesterday. I said I would love a theme based around that mirror, like a bed that had a cloud bed head around it. Sets that really do stand out from what we currently have in The Sims 4. I feel like most of the main pillars when it comes to build and buy mode have been hit, and I really want to see them play around more. Create a Sim 2. I've always said I want them to play around more with cuts, designs, like not traditional-esque clothing. Like I'd love to see androgynous clothing. There's a lot of things that I do feel like they could play around with in these packs. Also, for example, they could eventually work with custom content creators. However, on the flip side of that, I do feel as if there are some negatives when it comes to these kits. To me personally, it does kind of feel a bit mobile game-esque, you know, like a very small set for a specific cost. And I don't know what the cost, like we said, we haven't had a confirmed cost on these yet. I don't want it to be as expensive as the Sims 3 store or a lot of mobile games that I see. I might actually do a video where I actually look at kits in comparison to the old stuff packs, because stuff packs have definitely gone up in value. I made a video on this a couple of weeks ago. I'll link it in the description if you didn't get the chance to watch it, where I basically talked about the value of stuff packs has definitely gone up, and they've changed the way that stuff packs work, which now that I see that they were working on kits does make sense, because kits are kind of like the old school stuff packs. So I kind of want to do a comparison between the old stuff packs and kits, and then once we know a price, like look at that comparatively and see how I feel about it. However, it feeling a bit mobile game-esque does sort of worry me for the future of the franchise, especially when it comes to The Sims 5, because I've seen a lot of chat about how The Sims 5 could be subscription based and also needs to work on all platforms, including mobile. It kind of worries me. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I am very scared for the future of my favorite Sims franchise. And also, I know I've compared it to the Sims 3 store. However, it does have a little bit of a limitation that the store didn't have. Obviously, on the Sims 3 store, you really could pick and choose. Like, if you just wanted one asset, say if I watched someone on YouTube and they had like a specific outfit that I really liked and they were like, hey, I got this off the Sims 3 store. I could literally go to the Sims 3 store and buy that like one specific hairstyle or one specific top. Yes, they were overpriced. I'll throw that out there. You don't have that luxury when it comes to kits because they are still a pack. They are still packaged together. So, for example, I really like the bucket hat. I can't just go and purchase the bucket hat from what I've seen online, because them calling it a pack means that it's all lumped in together. So I'm assuming that we're not going to be able to pick and choose in a way that we were with the Sims 3 store. And also, my biggest concern when it comes to this is what's going to be limited behind a paywall. It's a very tricky situation, especially when you're making a life simulator. I don't want to see cultural diversity be behind a paywall any longer, and I really, really hope that this doesn't allow that to be done. No, please. That's my biggest bit of feedback when it comes to kits. That cannot happen. I do think this is also, I forgot to mention this in the positives, but I think this is actually going to be really good for the community in a sense, because I feel like with kits, we'll be able to have a little bit more freedom when it comes to giving feedback and like themes that we actually want to see that usually aren't included in bigger packs, or like they don't really have the scope in those bigger packs to explore it in all its like full glory. I definitely think that we as a community could inject some really cool feedback and opportunities for the team. So fingers crossed it does lead to that. That's what I want to see come out of kits. I do think this could be a positive thing if it's done in the correct way. However, I know that not every single one of these kits is going to be for me, because not every single expansion pack is for me. I fully admit that Snowy Escape wasn't to my cup of tea. Like, I tried to do a let's play on it. After a while, I was like, I feel like I've done everything that I can do in this expansion, and it feels kind of closed off from the rest of the game for me. I definitely see that happening with kits too, but I will have a video when these come out. I'll be exploring them all. I'll be saying how I feel about them once I actually get my hands on, and I probably will do that comparable video to the older stuff packs. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I'd love to hear your feedback on these. How are you feeling about them? Are you feeling quite happy that these are happening? Not so happy? What would you like to see in upcoming themes for these kits? I really want to know. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.